Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is for you. Welcome to practice. This is your Daily Sādhana. My name is Hannah, and if you've taken class with me before, welcome back. If this is your first time hearing my voice, seeing my face, thank you for being here. I love to teach more kind of like vinyasa style, but a little bit slower classes, specifically in this space. So you will feel hopefully really balanced after practice today. And last time I was here, I was filming a root chakra class. And so today I want to focus on the sacral chakra. Chakras are energy centers in the body. There are 7 of them. They go from, they're said to be located kind of right at the base of your spine, all the way up through the spine to the crown of your head. And so the second chakra, the sacral chakra, is known to be the center for your emotions, creativity, sensuality being whatever lights up your senses. We oftentimes correlate that word to more sexual, but it's really just whatever experiences light up your senses. So it can be walking around out in nature. It can be taking a warm bath with like some aromatherapy. It can be eating a really yummy meal that has a lot of flavor and gets your senses activated. So things that help you tap into the sacral chakra while you're on your yoga mat are more like watery movements. It's connected to the water element, so things that are more like flowy in nature. Hip openers, the sacral chakra is located right by your hips and your reproductive organs. So hip strengtheners, hip openers are going to help to balance the sacral chakra. And then it's orange in color, so if you are feeling like you want to tap into your creative side, then you could try wearing orange. You could try getting something that's orange and having it in your space. And the sense that is associated with the sacral chakra is taste. So doing like an eating meditation or something that really lights up the taste buds will help to activate it as well. And one last thing before we get started, as always, when I teach, I love to give you options. I love to give you the freedom to take what you need. So if there's something that I'm calling to that doesn't work for you, please just take what you need. If you want to take a seat or child's pose or lay down on your back at any time and just focus on your breath, you're welcome to do so. If you find yourself getting like tired or feeling discouraged throughout class, then you're welcome to just pause, check in with yourself. You're fully capable, I promise. You do not have to do the whole class. I oftentimes don't do the whole class when I'm practicing on my mat, so this is your space, this is your time. I want you to use it in the way that feels best for you. We're all creative beings. We're all creative beings because we are here, because we're ourselves. So even if you feel like I'm not creative, I don't have that sense of creativity, you do. You're always creating because you are doing things that no one has ever done before because they're being done by you, and you're the only person out there that is you, right? So that was a lot of words just to say, trust in your creativity on the mat today. Take what you need, take what feels right, take what feels good, take what feels safe. And let's start in a child's pose. Bring your big toes together to touch, widen your knees off to the long edges of your mat. Set your hips back over your heels and crawl your hands forward. Lower your chest down to the ground, lower your forehead down. And then maybe draw your knees a little wider to feel some opening in your hip area. I like to kind of roll my chest around from side to side and press my hips from side to side to feel that sense of awakening in the hips. Extend your arms further forward to the top of your mat to stretch out through your side bodies, your intercostal muscles. And notice the weight of your hips towards your heels. Become aware of this softening that's happening in your spine, in your jaw, in your forehead, in your shoulders. Bring water into your practice. Start to soften. Let the breath flow like waves on the ocean. Breathe in, fill up. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Breathe in. Sigh out. One more time, full breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Let it go. Continue to breathe here. In through your nose, out through your nose. This is known as Ujjayi Pranayama, Ujjayi breath, breath of fire, breath of victory. It helps to build tapas, heat, and commitment to your practice, commitment to what you need, commitment to what activates your senses, what helps you feel that creativity that you inherently possess, that is always with you. Crawl your hands a little further towards the top of your mat and then crawl the hands over to the left. Take a side body stretch. Stack your right hand over your left hand. Draw your right hip back towards your right heel. Notice the space through your right side body. And if you notice your hips starting to lift off of your heels, I encourage you to draw your awareness to the right outer hip and challenge it back towards your heels. Heavy your right shoulder closer to the mat to create a little more space. Breathe in. And exhale, crawl your hands through center. On the breath in, lengthen through your spine to neutralize. Exhale, crawl your hands over to the right side of your mat. Stack your left palm on top of your right. Heavy your left shoulder down. And once again, check in with your hips. If you feel your hips lifting off of your heels, that's okay, by the way. But just energetically focus on your left outer hip. Try and draw it a little bit closer to your left heel. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale, hands come back through center. And inhale, rise up to a tabletop. Root down through your palms. Bring your ankles, your heels right behind your knees. Tap your feet on the mat. Make a little bit of noise. We're here. Arrive in tabletop position. And this is where you can really start to incorporate some water into your practice to activate through the sacral chakra. So inhale for cow pose, lower your belly down, lift your gaze, send your tailbone up towards the sky. And exhale, cat, round through your spine, push the ground away, tuck your tailbone towards your heels. Notice a bit of activation in your core. Inhale, cow, drop your belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, cat, around your spine. Stay connected to deep, slow, steady breath. Cow pose, belly drops, gaze lifts. Inhale. Exhale, cat. From here, I want you to start to circle your hips around, stretch out through your side body, and start to draw circles with your hips. So you're landing in cat and cow, but you're also sweeping your hips over to one side and the other. Ben, who you all probably are familiar with, often uses the analogy that you're using a knife to scoop out all of the peanut butter in the jar with your hips. So really feel every single motion, every single sweep around in a circle. And we're getting into the hips here. Stretch out through your wrists, your feet. take some free movement here, or just continue to move back and forth between your cat-cow. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Flip your toes so the balls of your feet are pressing down. Take a breath in, press your hips back towards your heels, and then exhale, lift your knees off of the ground, scoop your tailbone high, downward facing dog. Keep a generous bend in your knees. Push into your palms to activate your forearm muscles, and then lift your chest towards your knees to create space in your spine. Pedal your feet around from side to side a few times. Good. And then find stillness, downward facing dog. On your inhale, press your belly towards your thighs, crouching down dog. Grip the mat with your hands. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Supported low lunge, lower your back knee down to the ground. If you have two blocks, I love using the blocks underneath my hands for that transition. So just one more time, feel free to look up at the screen if you're not already. So bringing blocks underneath your hands for that transition just brings the ground closer to you and creates a little more space for that step. So with the blocks under your hands, you can also use books or something else. You can bend into your knees. And then exhale, you're pulling your belly in, draw your quad closer to your chest, then you step it through. Lower your left knee down to the mat. Inhale, low crescent lunge, sweep your arms high, lift up through your heart space. Bend into your right knee just a little bit more. Notice your left hip flexor starting to open. Keep a gentle engagement in your core just to protect your spine. And then bring your hands to your hips, outer hips. Draw with your right hand, draw your right hip back. Gently guide your left hip forward to square off your hips. Continue to press down through your right foot for balance here. On your breath in, lengthen your arms over your head, lift your gaze. Exhale, half split, round forward. Lengthen through your right leg, fold over your right leg. If you have blocks, they might be right where you need them, or you might need to adjust the height of the blocks to make this pose feel better in your body. Round your spine forward, tuck your forehead to your knee. Take a pause here. And then momentarily we'll start to flow back and forth between low crescent lunge and half splits. And I want you to visualize that you're a wave on the ocean. So connect the movements together. Let it feel really connected. If you need to kind of slow it down to make it more easeful, please do. On your inhale, bend into your right knee, sweep your arms over your head. And then exhale, half split. Sweep your hands behind you. This time airplane your arms, fold over your right leg. Inhale, come forward, low crescent lunge. Lift your chest, really breathe all the way in. Exhale, half splits with airplane arms round and fold. Let's do it 3 more times. I'll breathe with you. Once more at your own pace. Come forward to low crescent lunge. Deep breath in, press down through your right foot to activate through your legs. Exhale, forward fold at the top of your mat. Flip your back toes, then step your feet together. Take your time. Bring your feet more than hips width distance apart. Grab opposite elbows, ragdoll forward fold. Ragdoll forward fold variation is just a really restorative fold for your upper body. And so bend your knees a lot. Let your belly rest against your thighs. Let go of the myth that your legs need to be straight in a forward fold. And then make this your own. Use your arms in a way that feels supportive. Maybe you grab opposite elbows to bring more weight into your upper body. Maybe you interlace your hands behind your lower back and draw your knuckles away from your low back. Maybe you just let your hands rest on the ground or towards the ground. Shake your head no. Shake your head yes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Press down through your feet. Unroll your spine one vertebra at a time. Inhale, sweep your arms over your head. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center, Anjali Mudra. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Breathe in, I am. Breathe out, creative. Breathe in, I feel. Breathe out fully. Pause and breathe here. Notice the senses. What do you feel? How does the texture of your mat feel on the bottoms of your feet? How does the energy between your palms feel? Anjali Mudra hands. Become aware of the temperature on your skin. If there's any wind or air moving, become aware of what you smell, maybe what you taste. Good, and then release your hands down to the ground. Inhale, sweep your arms high, Urdhva Hastasana, press down through your feet, engage through your core. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, hinge at your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Halfway lift, bring your hands to your thighs or your shins, and then think about a tabletop spine. So press your tailbone back, hug your shoulder blades down your spine, pull your belly button in to keep your core active and bring some stress out of your lower back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, plant your hands down to the mat, step your left foot back, step your right foot back, come into tabletop position. Inhale, cow pose, drop your belly low to the ground, lift your gaze. Exhale, downward facing dog, send your hips up and back. Inhale, crouching down dog, bend into your knees, maybe bring the blocks underneath your hands. Press your belly against your thighs. Exhale, low lunge, step your left foot between your hands, lower your right knee down to the ground. Lift your chest away from your thighs, low crescent lunge. Take a breath in, and then breathe here. Pause to notice the sensation in your right hip flexor through your left leg. Bring the palms of your hands to your outer hips. Gently guide. You don't even really have to do any forcing. Guide your left hip back, your right hip forward to square. And then re-extend your arms. Take an inhale. Exhale, half splits, round over your front leg. Bring your hands down to the mat or to the blocks. Flex your left toes. Then tuck your chin to your chest. Get long through your spine. Breathe here. Take a moment to notice. Notice how you create your own energy. You create the peace, the sense of calm. You create the activation, the sense of power. You create the mindfulness, the intention. We'll start to move back and forth like a wave on the ocean. Inhale, low crescent lunge. Reach your arms high. Exhale, half splits. Maybe airplane your arms. Shift back. Inhale, low crescent. Exhale, shift back. 3 more times on your own. Maybe close your eyes. Breathe fully expansive breaths. Exhale all the way on the shift back. We have one more. Come forward, low crescent lunge, take a deep breath in, press into your left foot to get active through your left leg, and then exhale, forward fold. Flip your right toes, step your right foot to meet your left. Inhale, halfway lift to neutralize your spine. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, sweep your arms high. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, extend your arms over your head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms high, rise up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach. Maybe you add on here. Maybe you take some side stretches. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We have 2 more rounds. And again, feel free to add on. Feel free to take out. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. 1 more time. Breathe and re-extend your arms. Exhale, Anjali Mudra, hands to your heart. Circle, sweep your arms high. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Lengthen your spine long. Exhale, plant your hands. Come into a high plank position. And pause here in your high plank. Check in. Does this feel accessible? Or are you doing it because you think you have to? If it doesn't quite feel accessible, create your own choices to lower your knees down to the mat. This is still really strengthening for your upper body and your shoulders. Wherever you are, whether you're in high plank or knees down high plank, shift your shoulders forward past your wrists. Keep your elbows kissing your sides. Exhale, lower down to low plank. Push into your palms, squeeze the elbows into your ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift up through your chest. Press down through the tops of your feet so that your legs lift off of the ground, your quads, your knees. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Flip over your toes, send your hips back. In your down dog, take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, release. Shake your head out yes and no a few times. And we'll add on to the flow. Inhale to 3-legged dog. Sweep your right leg high. Exhale, bend your right knee. Open your hips, scorpion dog. Stay right here or start to draw circles with your knee. Big circles. Again, get all of the peanut butter out of the jar. And then extend your right leg high. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Firm up through your right glute. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Low lunge, also known as runner's lunge. You can keep your back knee lifted off of the ground. Become aware of your feet. Become aware of the grounding through your feet. And then inhale, rise up to crescent Chandrasana. Think of mountain pose in your upper body. So your shoulders are stacked over your hips. And then check in with your back leg. Maybe soften your left knee. Lift your left heel a little higher. Arms can lengthen upwards, or if your shoulders are feeling really sore, maybe you give them a rest and bring them to your heart center. Breathe in wherever you are. Exhale, warrior 2. Pivot your left foot down to the mat. Lengthen your left arm behind you. Reach your right arm forward. And then pause here and breathe. Bend and straighten through your right knee. Seal down through the outer edge of your left foot. Check in that your right toes face directly forward to the top of your mat. On your inhale, lean your upper body forward. Exhale to side angle. Bring your right forearm to your right quad. Reach your left arm over your head. Roll your left shoulder behind you. Tuck your right shoulder underneath you. Now your legs will stay the same. We're going to find that watery sense of movement again. So it's a flow from reverse warrior, which looks like this, to side angle where you are right now. So keep the bend in your right knee. Get really strong through your legs. Inhale, reverse warrior. Reach back, gaze up. Exhale, side angle. Maybe your left arm extends all the way over your head. 2 more times. Inhale, reach it back, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Once more, breathe all the way in, lengthen, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Reach your left arm over your head, take a deep inhale. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Pivot to face the left side of your mat. Bring your toes to face in, your heels to face out. If you have props, feel free to bring them into your space, so right at the front of where you are now. Sometimes it might feel good to bend your knees and sway from side to side. Other times it might feel good to keep your legs straight and your spine long. Play around here. Every movement that you take does not have to have a name. This is your expression. This is your opportunity to explore your practice. Notice what feels like it's something that serves you. Notice if it feels like it's something that doesn't. We'll take 2 or 3 more rounds of breath here in your wide-legged forward fold. And there's always an option to just be still. No need to overcomplicate things. That's something I can tend to do at times. So you're welcome to just be here in stillness. 1 more round of breath. On your next inhale, rise to standing. Slowly inhale, star pose. Lengthen your arms over your head. Press down through your feet. Exhale, carry your palms to the front of your mat. Low lunge. Bring your hands to frame your right foot. Spin high to the ball of your back toes. Make sure your left toes are facing forward. Get light through your fingertips. Fire up through your right quad. Inhale, chair pose. Step your left foot to meet your right. Arms can reach high or come down to your heart or maybe down to your hips, and kind of press your palms in towards center to create a little more support in your hip area. In chair pose, settle the weight back into your heels. Pull your belly button away from your quads. And take an inhale. And exhale. Press down through your feet. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Sweep your arms high over your head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, try on high to low plank. Find your knees or lift your knees off of the mat. Shift your shoulders forward. Exhale, lower down. Hug your elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. If your blocks are over to the left side of your mat, go ahead and bring them over to the right, because we'll take the same thing on the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bend your left knee, open your hip. Draw some big circles. Continue to breathe here. Deep, steady inhales, long, smooth exhales. And then lengthen your left leg high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lunge. Step your left foot in between your hands. Get active through your legs right away. Inhale, high crescent lunge, Chandrasana. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Settle into the bend in your left knee, and then soften your right knee down. Spike your heel, your back heel towards the ceiling. Engage your core. Breathe in. Exhale, warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Draw your right hand back to reach behind you. Spin your right toes down to face the right side of your mat. Bring your left toes to face forward. Pause here for a moment. Check in with your alignment. Check in with sensation. Oftentimes sensation helps direct us to whether we've gone a little too far, whether we can back off, whether we need to make some adjustments. Now on your breath in, lengthen forward. Exhale, side angle, lower your left forearm to your left thigh. Reach your right arm high. I invite you to really continue pressing down through your feet to keep your legs active. They will get tired. That also means they're getting stronger. On your next inhale, find reverse warrior. Commit to the bend in your left knee. Reach your left arm high. Exhale, side angle, lower left forearm. Reach your right arm all the way over your head. Connect the movements 3 more times. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, the wave comes to shore. Right as it gets there, it pulls back. Inhale, reverse warrior, goes back out to sea. Exhale, wave comes to shore, side angle. 1 more time. Inhale, wave goes back out to sea. Breathe in. And exhale, side angle. This time, reach all the way over your head. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Hinge at your hips. Take the shape that works for you. If you'd like to join me, you can take some side lunges. I'll show you 2 different versions. So inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, bend into your left knee. Pivot your left toes to face slightly out. Send your hips back. Support yourself with your hands so your fingertips are tented, spine is long. If it feels good, you continue to send your hips back, sit a little lower, lift up through your chest. If you have any knee injuries or anything like that, you can continue to stay in this more shallow side lunge. Inhale. Exhale, come back through center. Right toes face out, send your hips back. Come into the Skandasana, side lunge. Maybe you sit your hips back and lift up through your chest. Let's take it once more on each side. Inhale through center. Exhale, side lunge. Through center. Side lunge. Come back to wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, star pose. Exhale, low lunge, hands come to frame your left foot. Gaze forward, activate through your legs. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, step your feet together. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, your version of Chaturanga Dandasana. You're always welcome to skip it and hold high plank or just step back, down dog. Inhale, up dog if you chose to flow. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's flow breath to movement. And imagine that you're a wave. Might sound a little funny, a little silly if you're like, if you don't oftentimes compare yourself to a wave on the ocean, but let's lean in. Tap into the sacral chakra energy, that energy of flow, creativity, emotion, and water. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge, step forward, land your right foot down. Inhale, crescent, lift your chest away from your thigh. Exhale, warrior 2, open out. Inhale, lengthen your upper body forward. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach up and back. And exhale to lunge, hands come down to the mat. We'll take out the wide-legged forward fold. Active through your legs. Inhale, chair pose. Step your left foot to meet your right. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, your high to low plank or choose to skip it. I'm going to choose to skip it this time. If you're flowing, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step it through. Inhale, Chandrasana, crescent lunge, lift your chest. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Inhale, reach forward, wave lands. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior, wave goes back to C. Exhale to lunge, bring your hands to frame your left foot, come high to the ball of your right toes. Inhale, chair pose, you step your right foot to meet your left. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana, or downward facing dog. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through your nose, fill your belly up. And a loud sigh out. One more time, breathe in. Open mouth, exhale. Come down to your knees. Shift your hips off to one side. Extend your legs out in front of you or keep your feet planted down to the mat. And slowly lower down onto your back. Once you're on your back, keep any props within reach, but move them out of the way of your direct space so that we can move on our backs a little bit and take up some space ourselves. Once you're on your back, let's move through 3 rounds of bridge pose, Setu Plant your hands, palms to face down, and then walk your heels in towards your glutes. Push down through your feet to lift your hips off of the mat. Inhale for bridge pose. And then think of pressing your hip points up towards the ceiling. Tuck your tailbone down slightly. You might notice a stretch on your quads. You might notice a little bit of opening through your chest. If you want more opening through your chest, hike your shoulders down away from your ears. Take one more inhale. Exhale, lower your hips down. Pause here for an inhale. Pause here for an exhale. Inhale, bridge, elevate your hips, press down through your feet. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Find Supta Baddha Konasana, recline bound angle pose. Connect the soles of your feet together. Spread your knees out wide. And then crawl your glutes underneath you. So kind of wiggle from side to side a little bit. Extend your arms out to a T. Breathe here. I am creative because I exist. I have every right to feel, to notice. And I connect to my emotions, but I don't let them be the source of my actions. I connect to my emotions, but they are not the source of my actions. Meaning we pause, we let the emotions flow through us like water, right? While practicing the pause, practicing the moment before we react. We let them settle. We're not afraid of them. We let them in. We welcome them. We say, I love you, but let's take a minute. Yeah. Bring your knees back together. Send your right ankle over your left quad, set up for a supine figure 4. And you can keep your arms long to a T. Press your right knee forward towards the bottom of your mat, and then gently sway your left knee from side to side. Really flex through your right toes to protect your knee joint. And then let your knees fall to the left side of your mat for a supine figure 4 twist. Stamp your right foot down. I like to reach for my right ankle with my left hand. And think of it as almost like a Gomukhasana on your back with a twist. So you're pressing your right knee forward and then lift up through your right side body to intensify the stretch in your outer hip. Breathe through the sensation. Bring your knees back through center. You can unwind. Give your legs a little shake, a little length. And then we'll switch sides. Supine figure 4 on the left. Stamp your right foot down. Bring your left ankle over your right quad. Pause here for a moment. Maybe tee out your arms. Feeling requires us to take up space, right? It requires us to notice, to trust. So with your arms out wide, notice the space that you're taking up and how it lands, how it feels. Take another inhale. Exhale, twist. Let both knees fall over to the right. Stamp your left foot down. Maybe bring your right hand around your left ankle. And then continue to press your left knee forward to intensify the sensation through your left outer hip. Allow your belly to soften. Let your upper body get heavy. Bring your knees back through center. And hug both knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. And let's find happy baby pose, Ananda Balasana. First, start by widening your knees. Bring them over to your ribs. And then reach for your feet. If you feel like you have to lift off of the mat to reach, bring your hands behind your knees instead, and then let it settle. Let your knees settle into your chest. Or if the back of your head stays heavy on the mat, then reach for your feet, outsides or inside, and start to sway from side to side, wherever you are, to massage out any remaining tension in your spine. Soften here. From your happy baby, draw both knees into your chest. Give yourself a really big hug. Breathe all the way in. Fill your belly up until you can't no more. Hold it at the top for 3, 2, 1. Big whooshing exhale. Release into Shavasana. Your final rest. Now I know it's probably really easy to say, class is over. All done. I'm going to exit out of this tab. I don't need that Shavasana. You deserve this Shavasana. You always deserve this Shavasana. You're always deserving of rest. It's easy to forget that because we're busy, because we have a lot going on, but trust that 2 or so minutes is not going to make a huge difference. You can take this rest. Check in with your toes. Give them just a little wiggle to relax the soles of your feet. Feel the weight of your legs on the mat. Water in your joints. Heaviness, earth in your bones. Let your hips be really heavy, almost melting into the ground. Breathing happens naturally. Shoulders soften. Palms relax. Fingertips curl in. Separate your top teeth from your bottom teeth. Notice your cheeks get heavy, both sets. Notice your ears weighted down towards the ground. Your forehead is soft. Be here now. Take this rest. If you have the time to stay here and let this rest take you wherever it takes you, please do that. If there is a need to start to wrap up, deepen your breath. Breathe all the way down into the base of your belly, right where your sacral chakra is. And then slow breaths out. Take some gentle movements in your extremities, your fingers, your toes. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Rock your chin from side to side, from shoulder to shoulder. And then maybe you allow the movements to grow into a full, long body stretch. Move up to a seated position. Take your time. And find Sukhasana, easy seat. Bring your palms to face up by your sides. Now this right here, you can find this anywhere. If you don't feel like sitting down, you can find a standing position. It only takes a few moments to check in with your feelings, to check in with sensation, to ground you in that space. Let's take a cleansing breath together to end our practice. Breathe all the way in. And exhale. Hands come to your heart center. Offer yourself gratitude for showing up. Thank you for being here. I bow to you wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Hannah, once again. And if you want to continue tapping into your sacral chakra energy, I would recommend dancing. It doesn't matter what it looks like, right? We're oftentimes told well, dance has to be this show for someone else. And that's not true. You can just move around. You can just shake your body, jump up and down, wiggle around. Feel free to look in your refrigerator and see what ingredients you have to make a meal. That's always really fun. Well, it's fun. It's okay if it doesn't taste that good, right? That's the thing. The stakes are low. You can get a paper and pen and write or draw. You can go out in nature and feel what your senses feel when you're out there. So there's a lot of opportunities. Take that this week, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. If you have anything you'd like to share with me, you can put it in the comments, and we will see you next time. Thanks, friends.